Here's a little something that should scare you. It certainly creeps me out. We just learned that the U.S. is buying nuclear emergency drugs for $290 million. So I guess they're prepping for a potential nuclear strike. So this is reported from Disclosed TV here. They have a link to Health and Human Services. Apparently, the drug is called Neplate? Or maybe the N is silent. Plate? The drug HHS intends to buy is produced by Amgen. It is a subcutaneous powder for injection. 125 milligrams, I guess, for one injection is around $1,195. So, kind of creepy. And, of course, everybody's on high alert because, Putin has been making these nuclear threats. He annexed regions of Ukraine and then said, look, we're going to defend our territory with any and all of our might. So, kind of scary. There's some, nuclear weapons being put into place at the moment. We covered that on the show the other day. And, but we also get this news now. Of course, the source is the Daily Mail, so take it with a massive grain of salt. There's no way to know whether or not this is accurate, but they say Putin will be overthrown by Russian generals in a coup if unhinged tyrant decides to nuke Ukraine to bolster his failing war. Vladimir Putin faces mutiny or death if he attempts to launch a nuclear strike in desperate bid to secure victory in Ukraine, an expert has claimed. The desperate tyrant, who turned 70 this week while allegedly battling serious health issues, would spark a Kremlin coup if he unleashed the devastating weapons, a British source who advises governments on Russia said. So, again, I don't know how much knowledge this guy would have. He's just a British source who advises governments on Russia. That doesn't seem like an inside source, so I don't know. It comes as the unpredictable Russian leader annexed 4 regions in the east of Ukraine this week following a spate of referendums which were branded a sham by the wider international community. By the way, with him, drafting and deploying 300,000 Russians, sentiment has really fucking turned on him because there's all these videos now over social media where you got these people who are drafted who didn't want to be drafted and they're given these old guns that are falling apart and they're saying, look, we're being treated like fucking cattle over here. So, in many ways, morale is as low as possible. And these are not like dedicated fighters. So, and I feel terrible. Imagine every single person who was like drafted to fight in a war they want absolutely nothing to do with. And that's why we've had at least 200,000 people flee the country. They fled the country. I mean, it really is something. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces led by comedian-turned-president Vladimir Zelensky and bolstered by the West continue to force the Russians to retreat in the likes of Kharkiv and Luhansk, setting up a potentially humiliating defeat for Putin, one many experts believe he could not survive. Moscow's military elite believe the despot's threats to employ nuclear weapons are currently working as leverage against the West, but one source suggested they would block any attempt by the warmonger to launch the catastrophic missiles. They told the Mirror, faced with Putin's recklessness and the need to prevent use of nuclear weapons, the military are most likely to stage a coup to depose him. The second most likely group are Putin's presidential administration of acolytes, ex-KGB spies, and ex-military led by Evgeny Viktorovich Prigozhin. So far, they think his nuke statements are serving their purpose. So yeah, I don't know, man. I genuinely have no idea. Just thought I would share this with you guys, but there you have it. Things are continuing to be incredibly scary, and we're flirting with World War III. And by the way, this is at the same time. So the other day, we covered this. The other day, North Korea launched a missile directly over Japan, which panicked Japan. They thought they were being, attacked for a while, for like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. There were these sirens all over Japan. And then what happened after that is, they didn't attack them. They did a test missile that flew over Japan and landed somewhere in the ocean, right? And then in response to that, I think South Korea did some missile tests, like basically trying to scare North Korea. And then since then, North Korea has seen that, and then they responded again and did a missile test that's like prodding South Korea and Japan again. So, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. Everybody, take a couple sips of wine, take a couple hits of weed, take some fucking Xanax or some shit. Do something. Unwind, baby. Unwind. This is everything's getting a little too real for all of us normal folk out here just trying to get by. So Anyway, there you have it. Some updates on what's going on in Russia and Ukraine.